Farish Majid, and it's Monday, the 12th of February 2024. From wherever you're watching us from, you're welcome as we begin off the news bulletin. But first, let's have a look at what is making it down the headlines. In the headlines tonight, maybe Anglican Diocese ordains 10 new canons. NRM Day celebration turns into battleground of words. And by the Black Angels draws with Maybe Central in a friendly match. For this and more, in the NILE CAST News Bulletin. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us for the NILE CAST News Bulletin with me, Farish Majid. And now to begin off with the news bulletin. Maybe Anglican Diocese has received 10 new canons from different churches under the diocese who will help to coordinate the pastoral works of the bishop. And while installing the canons at St. Stephen's Cathedral, Goli, the Bishop of Madi and West Nile Diocese, Right Reverend Collins Charles Andaku, asked the 10 canons to build strong relationship with the Christians so that their call to serve God is manifested in doing their good work. Alfred Jawok has more details of the story.
While installing the canons, the Bishop of Madi and West Nile Diocese, Right Reverend Collins Charles Andaku, urged the new canons to build strong relationship with the Christians so that their call to serve God is manifested in doing the good work. The Bishop further appealed to the newly ordained canons to live an exemplary life to impress other Christians by their actions.
Be an example in all things that you do. The academic qualification you have does not choose to be a leader. Who chooses leaders? The inner heart, and church organs to select leaders on his behalf. And these archdeacons have been chosen by God. It makes you to be an example in everything that you do. Verse 16, where I'll capitalize that you did not choose me.
In the meantime, the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Pons Ozelawinjo, applauded the canons for accepting to serve God and appealed to them to create peace and unity among believers. Pons added that it is under the mandate of provincial laws to appoint canons in the dioceses.
From this time forth, evermore, this 11th day of February in the year of our Lord 2024, I do humbly certify to all whom may concern that you have been duly inducted and installed as canon of the Church of Uganda Nebi Diocese, conformably within this mandate by undersigned, I, Right Reverend Pons. I give you.
However, Jessica Ongerto, one of the newly ordained canons, pledged to live a life of a canon and appeal for cooperation among the Christians. Ongerto is optimistic that the 10 canons will serve God in their capacities.
As a canon, we are supposed to be the eye of the church. We are supposed to be advising the bishop. Of course, that comes with the responsibility that you are able to be in the community to understand them, but also you must be a person that the community can rely on, like the Bishop of Madi and West Nile. We are supposed to be exemplary.
The canons ordained include Canon Alfred Ugenmongo, Canon Christopher Nyuti, Canon Alex Koi, Canon Hofni Topasho, among others. Among the dignitaries who attended the function include Chairperson Local Council 5 Nebi District, Orombi Emmanuel, Vincent Okaba, the Executive Director of Global Oils Uganda Limited, Dr. George Gedaga, Executive Director Global Village Resort Pakwach, Martin Orochi, former Resident City Commissioner Arua City, Mothers Union, among other Christians. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
All right, welcome back. The 38th National Resistance Movement Anniversary Celebration, which was held in Vura Sub-County, Arua District, turned into a ground for war of words as the LC3 chairperson of Vura Sub-County who hosted the event, Honorable Pario Joel castigated the MPs for poor service delivery in the district. Osuta Yusuf has more details of the story.
National Resistance Movement anniversary is the day when President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni took over power on 26 January 1986. The LC3 chairperson for Vura Sub-County, Honorable Pario Joel, castigated the MPs for poor service delivery in the district.
Please, let's improve our service deliveries. Our roads are bad. As Carl said, they are working on roads. The roads are bad. Both community access roads and national roads. Our water sources are not enough. These are your responsibilities. We are disappointed in you, the Member of Parliament. You are frustrating the efforts of NRM government. Why am I saying so? You see, a whole one chairman writes recommendation for you. You can't even think of advocating for payment increase for this person. You only increase payments for you. We are suffering because of very severe chairman downward. What are you doing in Parliament? Will you come back to us? If you have nothing to maybe present there, you come to us, we shall give you points.
He also blamed the district officials for frustrating his efforts of trying to bring the Secretary General for NRM Party, Right Honorable Richard Odong, to come and be the guest of honor for the ceremony so that their cries are taken to the NRM Party chairman, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. As he said, the MPs in the district have failed to perform the lobbying role.
We did our intelligent work to make sure Secretary General of the party must be here. I wrote a letter. They said they need now a formal letter from the COC, which COW did early. But to our disappointment, you people say it is a political thing. Same on you, first of all. All these issues we are presenting here, I know you don't have the answers. Why? We have been present these issues, we don't have answers from you. So we need now to attract the attention of the national chairman of the party. If we continue with this bad politics we have, that is not the true picture of NRM.
The NRM Vice Chairman for Arua District, Mr. Leonie Boniface, said the enemy at hand now is corruption.
And as leaders, let us see that this project government is bringing, they work for the betterment of our people. Unfortunately, we now have a key enemy. The enemy we have as NRM at the hand is now the corruption we have in the country. And as the cadres, this is the enemy we all need to join hands in confronting. Once we defeat corruption, that will be the end of all other political parties, because people will not have any reason to doubt NRM leaders. People will vote NRM MPs, people will vote NRM MC5, people will vote NRM district councillors, people will vote NRM MC3 chairperson, the one who stood here.
He described the criticism statements by Honorable Pario Joel as someone who is trying to retain his position by attacking others.
And 2026 is at the corner. We had some people talking here. When you hear a politician beginning to make such kind of Kalantine statements, know that he is trying to retain his position. Oh, he wants to climb. But for me, as a grooming person, as someone who grooms others, I appreciate that. But let us do things in the right way, in the right manner.
The mayor for Arua City, Honorable Wadisam Nyakwa, who joined the people of Arua district in celebrating the ceremony, advised them not to fight among themselves because this is still a young district.
Volani Maria Shell Turuni, Uranga Jatum Faruni, Emiawa Miku. Emiawa Miku. Emiawa Ndapa, Imakuto, Nabulo, Nyeri.
He also advised them to embark on developmental activities in order to alleviate hunger and poverty in their homes.
Government is doing her part. The silence of guns does not mean that there is peace. The peace I'm talking about is the peace in the pocket. If the pockets are empty.
West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
Welcome back, and more in the stories. Angry tobacco growers from West Nile sub-region who have been demanding government for their money since 2018 today stormed Desert Breeze Hotel, where a meeting organized by URA on the recent spate of killings taking place in the region. And this meeting attended by, that is, the State Minister of Economic Planning and Monitoring, Henry Musasizi, and this is the reason as to why the group stormed the meeting. Take a look at the story.
Tobacco growers in the West Nile region, under their regional body, the West Nile Cooperatives Union, stormed a meeting at Desert Breeze Hotel in Arua City, which was organized by Uganda Revenue Authority to discuss about the recent spate of killings. The over 1,500 farmers from the entire region who are demanding 9.7 billion Ugandan shillings from government on supplies they made to the now defunct Continental Tobacco Company Limited since 2018 stormed the meeting after knowing that the State Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, in charge of general duties, Henry Musasizi, was in attendance. The angry group demanded answers from Henry Musasizi, the State Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, as to when the government is going to pay off. The West Nile Regional Cooperative Union attributed the delay of their compensation due to tribalistic tendencies from the responsible officers.
I don't know whether, I know it very well. Bunyoro was paid because Matia Kasaija, the Minister of Finance, and the Prime Minister, both of them comes from Bunyoro. They decided to pay Bunyoro alone. The ministers are the one failing the president. You can see it, I wrote it here. Cabinet, tribalism.
In the same meeting, the farmers affected them in so many ways and therefore urgently appeal for government rescue as far as their compensation is concerned.
I borrowed some money from bank. As I'm talking, I lost my house, commercial house. I borrowed 10 million, but I lost a house which can cost almost 80 million.
Quickly to help us. So, since this issue of this money has delayed for a big loss, as you have already heard, people of Bunyoro were paid around 5 years ago, but here in West Nile we are still yawning.
In response to the angry farmers, the State Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Henry Musasizi, told the farmers to remain calm as they will soon be paid their money.
So they brought me, your MPs here, briefed me about this issue of compensation of the tobacco farmers. It is a matter I know about. I want to apologize that it has taken this far, because we were supposed to pay in the financial year 2023-24, but when I asked our office in Kampala, they have told me without fail we shall have this money in the budget for financial year 24-25.
The angry farmers said despite the several interventions they have tried to get themselves compensated, they blame the leaders who have often let them down and are now threatening to continue with their demonstrations to Parliament if their losses are not paid as soon as possible. Eric Morris, Faris Majid, for West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
Welcome back. Moving on from the region, this time around the national scene. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebo has rallied support for a new government project aimed at connecting over 1.3 million rural households to a multi-billion-dollar project initiative expected to transform lives in rural communities by increasing access to energy for households, commercial enterprises. In Mitoma on Friday, Tayebo, who also serves as the area member of Parliament, hailed the ESP as a pivotal initiative that holds great promise for rural development. He emphasized the positive impact it will have on improving the livelihoods of the local population.
And this is the sports news live on West Nile Television, NILE CAST. My name is Owen Isaga, and probably someone would be wondering, quite being a long time not on the scene right here. But of course, welcome for the sports live on West Nile Television. Now, in our top story right today, the Black Angels held Nebi Central in a friendly game they had for reuniting their fans in a game that went on at Nebi. The Black Angels went on to play a barren draw with the Nebi Central in a football club friendly, which was at Barokoro Stadium in Zombo District, played on 11th of February 2022. The purpose for the friendly was to test newly signed players into their system, as of course the second phase of the West Nile Regional League continues, and to bridge the gap between the fans of the Black Angels and Nebi Central. Alfred Jawok reports.
The best.
Sorry for that. Of course, we couldn't get that video, but of course, as we will be getting to the story maybe a little bit later on, but still in our national stories, Uganda under-17 women's national team ejected the Cameroon side in the second round of the Women's Cup qualifiers to book a slot in the next level. Owen Ezaga compiles the story. You copying a deco? Let's go to the next one. We go? Now, of course, in the stories, Ivory Coast emerged the champions or winners of the Africa Cup of Nations 2023 with a goal margin of 2-1 against Nigeria. Ivory Coast emerged the overall champions over the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations after edging Nigeria 2-1 in the final played yesterday. Goals from Frank Kessie and Sebastian Haller separated the two sides after a goal from a Kong for the team of Nigeria, who could not seal it right there. The Super Eagles will now look forward for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations to make amends in the games. Meanwhile, in South Africa, South Africa was also the bronze winner after beating the team of, and the NILE CAST continues.
Thank you, Owen Izaga, for the sports updates, and I know the viewers and the lovers of sports must have really gotten something for themselves. And with that, really, we come to the end of today's NILEcast News Bulletin. With me, Farish Majid. Stay tuned for the rest of the programs that may follow. Thank you.